Yet another Skylanders leak has been posted to Reddit, and I have to say, this is probably the most legit one I've seen so far. The timing is good, the execution is pretty good, and there's no obvious issues without some further research, which actually led me to uncover some potential evidence for a return of Skylanders in some form or another, which we'll get into after reviewing this supposed leak. You can pause to read his introduction if you'd like, but the TLDR is that this user claims to be a Beanox intern and that a remaster of Spyro's Adventure in Giants is releasing Q3 2024. Why on earth would Activision risk leaking Skylanders by revealing it to an intern? Well, multi-billion-dollar companies must be pretty stupid since this guy somehow got possession of the official trailer and documentation, which we'll start analyzing now. Right at the start is an ESRB rating of 10 and up, which would suggest that this game is in a somewhat finished state in order for them to rate it, since otherwise it would say not yet rated by the ESRB. That doesn't quite make sense for a game supposedly releasing 9 or 10 months from now. It wasn't until the third Giants trailer where we got to see the rating, although it was rated in the summer. Anyway, I'm sure the ESRB rating was just a placeholder or something. And now we have some very flashy text that was probably made in After Effects and possibly even a new render. Oh wait, nope, it's directly taken from the first Giants trailer. And whoa, actual gameplay footage now. I wonder why the remaster has the exact same graphics as the games released over 10 years ago. I guess you just can't beat perfection, right? And to his credit, he never said that the remaster would have improved graphics, just new features. Okay, in all seriousness, so far it's really easy to make a trailer like this. But this is where it gets juicy. The trailer shows characters from all 6 games standing on some platform, which to me looks kind of like Dragon's Peak, maybe? These models appear to be taken from the Wii versions of the old games, which actually some of them were developed by Beanox. But they would never use the Wii version of their character models in an actual trailer. The models are super outdated. It's still pretty impressive that this guy imported all the models. He's probably a modder of some kind, and this is most likely on Dolphin or something. We only get to see this virtual collection screen very briefly, but it's obviously just the Giants collection menu screen in the exact same Giants Magic Moment animation. If this is supposed to be a remaster, it really shouldn't look identical because what's the point in that? Moving on, this is not anything new either. If you didn't know, it's actually a scrapped boss fight from the Giants Alpha. These next 2 clips, however, are probably the most fascinating. 4 people in this arena is super impressive. I'm still not sure how this was pulled off, but if this is a working Giants multiplayer, then I need to know how to get that set up. The online multiplayer part looks pretty good too, but I imagine a modder could change some text pretty easily or just make this entire thing from scratch in Photoshop. We then see a lot of reused footage yet again, and this line from Chaos
But wait, there's more.
is also reused. I recognized it immediately because it's from a Superchargers cutscene that I had to watch over and over while making the Skylanders movie, although it's actually not in the final cut. Here's the real clip of Chaos.
But wait, there's more. Because I've taken the opportunity to capture anyone in Skylands who could have even remotely, possibly helped you.
Since someone in the comments thought these 2 were brand new, Chaos is referring to Hector and Captain Frightbeard from the first 2 3DS games. There's a lot to unpack in this last image, so let's start with the box. It reuses the design from the Dark Edition starters for Swap Force and Superchargers, but with identical characters from the first 2 starter packs. I wouldn't put it past Activision to reuse the exact same figures since they probably have a lot of leftover stock, but I do have a problem with the graphics. Toys for Bob made really nice and brand new graphics for the remastered Crash and Spyro games, and this just looks like a 10-minute Photoshop of a white background with the official character art added. Anyway, that aside, we get all these platforms. This looks fine at first glance, and if we ever do get a remaster, I really hope it actually does come to Steam, but it would be super weird to have a Steam starter pack. Like, the entire premise of Steam is buying games online, so would the starter pack just give you a code to download it on Steam? And since Steam came out almost 10 years before Spyro's Adventure, you'd wonder why none of the games were sold on Steam, and all of a sudden, this remaster is. The final part here is a pre-order bonus, which I guess makes some sense because Activision really did do pre-order bonuses in the past. Below are 4 pages of documents, and the screenshots are actually really well done. We can see Ambush on the Leviathan Lagoon, who honestly looks really well implemented. Spotlight is seen as Giants, and this is where it starts falling apart for me. Why would they reuse the exact same HUD of Spyro's Adventure and Giants, but not even keep it consistent throughout the entire game? I don't blame you if you don't recognize the UI for the other two screenshots, by the way, it's just from the 3DS games. The next page refers to a pretty good idea actually, adding an ultra easy and ultra nightmare difficulty, and the menu looks really clean as well. The next one is also really good, showing a ton of different Skylanders with soul gems in the style of SSA's graphics. As far as I know, this Summon Skylanders page is completely new and probably just another Photoshop, but still impressive nonetheless. The final document shows off the jukebox, which just plays Skylanders music, and it looks extremely well done. They also added a museum of concept art and videos, which I think is an odd choice, but still kinda cool. Now that we've reviewed the questionable post, it's time for some actual investigation. So I went to the United States Patent and Trademark Office and found the patent for Skylanders. By the way, there's like a million patents protecting the name from being put on anything from vitamin supplements to swim goggles. But the main one which we actually care about is this one, which protects all sorts of things such as the computer software itself to the RFID technology. Well, as it turns out, since trademarks only last 10 years, this trademark was renewed May 2nd, 2023. Wait, hold on. Renewing a trademark costs money, and we all know how much Activision loves money. Now, I'm no Harvard law student, but to my understanding, Activision shouldn't need to renew their trademark since they still own the intellectual property, which is protected by copyright. So you may now be thinking, if they just renewed the trademark less than a year ago, is it possible that we are actually getting this remaster? Well, every other Skylanders related trademark that I looked up has not been renewed, so the trademark for Skylanders Spyro's Adventure and Skylanders Giants are effectively dead, meaning a remaster of those two games is extremely unlikely at the moment. Well, it's still possible that they renewed the Skylanders trademark for an upcoming usage of the Skylanders intellectual property, right? In fact, in order to justify the renewal of their trademark, Activision has to provide a specimen of it in use. We can even view every specimen Activision has ever submitted in this Documents tab. Could it possibly give us insight into the next Skylanders game? Oh, it's just an Amazon listing of a Skylanders game. Dang it. Wait a minute, who is this Terry guy? And what is this bookmark doing here? Anyway, this patent renewal doesn't prove all that much, as it's not that unusual for a company to renew their most important trademarks, such as Skylanders. But Activision did renew Spyro and Crash, which are much older trademarks, before their remaster, so it's not out of the question at the moment. I still say this provides a bit of evidence for a possible return of Skylanders, or perhaps they're just being added to Crash Team Rumble like Spyro was. Overall, I really wish this was real. A lot of effort was put into it, and there are some really wonderful ideas implemented, but I don't see any scenario of it being true. Hello, Editor Skylandier here. Now that I've finished making this debunking video, the guy who made the fake leak posted a video in my Discord server basically admitting that it was entirely fake and that no one really fell for it this time. I ended up asking him some questions myself, and he told me that he wanted to outdo the horrible leak from last year that was literally just a crappy PowerPoint presentation, and I still don't know how everyone fell for it and news outlets were like, guys, there's a new Skylander game. Anyway, he's made stuff like this before, and it usually did fool people, so he's pretty surprised and also happy that everybody is a lot less gullible now.